I've killed too many versions of myself to be this small. Did you hear what I said? A lot of versions of myself, my previous self, have died for me to remain this small. You see, my coach told me once that you can never determine the meal that actually got you fat. You can't think about whether it's fufu or cassava leaf that you ate that made you fat. You can't know the exact workout that made you grow muscle. Likewise, you can't particularly predict the set of events that's going to turn out and give you grandeur of events in life. A lot of us struggle with ignorance, and with ignorance means you lack the competence to do certain things. It's because of three main reasons. It's because of one, you lack exposure. Number two, you lack the spirit of excellence. And number three, you have failed with the art of practice and repetition. Today, particularly, we want to talk about how to deal with ignorance. Because if you are going to break through doors, if you are going to shatter glass ceilings, if you are going to enter into new frontiers, do business, the one thing that will always stifle you, the one thing that will always limit you is called ignorance. The moment you deal with ignorance, the moment you do self-assessment and you are capable enough in approaching your fears and knowing the areas that need improvement, that's the day that growth and progress starts in your life. So let's start the conversation. The first thing that you need if you want to cure ignorance is exposure. That's why I tell a lot of young people, once in a while, if you've been in a community, if you've been in an environment for a long period of time, break out of that environment, travel, live life, see new places, eat new food, bond, learn a new language, get new experiences. Because your ignorance, which is your mindset, is going to keep that version of you. Even though you've killed so many versions of yourself, but it's going to keep that smaller version of you and it's going to make you limited. Because oftentimes it's an environment that conditions our mindset. It's how far you can see, that's how far you go in life. You see, your sight is not just based on your physical eyes. Your sight is based on your mental capacity, your mindset, how you view things. That's why, as a young person, your worldview of things should be based on exposure. You should go to cultures, you should go to places which can inform you about how things are done. But I can tell you for a fact, many of the dreams that I have been blessed with people who have firsthand given me exposure, showed me the possibilities of dreaming big. A probable reason why a lot of young people will still remain small, will still remain the little version of themselves, is because they don't have exposure. They don't have people who inspire them to think big, to dream big, and even to do big things. So if you want to cure ignorance, if you want to be at that point where somebody will ask you for something, or you wish that the things happening in other people's lives would become yours, then seek exposure, read books, travel, as much as possible, have conversation with top-notch individuals, with people in industries, people who are well-read, well-researched, people who are articulate, people who have depth, who have substance. That's the thing that's going to cure your ignorance and it's going to set you apart. The second part is excellence. There's nothing that can cure mediocrity like excellence. Whatever you do, have a standard for your life that if you are going to do it, you're going to do it to the best of your ability. You are not going to cut through corners. You see, ignorance thrives in the place of mediocrity, in the place where you only give 5%, 10%. You're not willing to go all in. You are just merely doing by. And that's not life. If you really want to be excellent, you have to think about the actions, the things you put into life. Whether you're doing a job, whether you have a task, whether you have a project, how committed, how dedicated you are in doing that particular thing. How do you follow up the minute details, down to the granular details, how you pay attention to the things. For example, if you're doing graphic design, down to the font, the alignment, the color, down to the finishing, the flair, the lighting effects, the visual effects. Every single thing matters if you are going to be excellent. Likewise as well, if you are going to be articulate, if you are going to be a communication expert, if you're going to be somebody who wants to command presence, you have to lead with excellence. Because the only prize for greatness is excellence. If you are excellent at what you do, like the scripture says, seest thou a man diligent and excellent in his business, he shall stand before kings, shall not stand before mean men, shall not stand before inferior individuals. The moment you set excellence as your standard, that you're not willing to compromise on an excellent standard, you know they say, how for do. You don't say, hey, well, how for do, now so then you do. No, you seek excellence, knowing that you have to give your 100%, paying close attention to the granular details, and then finessing even to the final touches of things. That's how you thrive in any environment that you are, and that's what will cure your ignorance in whatever you do. And the last part is repetition or practice. You see, the things you keep doing over and over again, you are not stupid, you are not slow, you simply lack practice. Tiger Woods will not be excellent in golf if he had not rehearsed playing and putting into the hole. LeBron James and then Michael Jordan will not have been excellent if they had not repeated their task. Part of you being ignorant is because you are afraid. You are afraid of repeating the task. You see, it's the same thing that happens in life. Whatever you repeat comes out of your life. Your reputation becomes your reality. If you really want to cure ignorance, maybe you don't know anything about a particular field or industry, approach it first with curiosity, exposure, and then set a benchmark of excellence for yourself, and then repeat the actions. One of the rules I have in my life personally is whenever I want to approach any topic, whether it's psychology, history, literature, I want to know down to the granular details, the foundations, to understand the intricacies of a subject. How does it work? What leads to one thing, then to another thing, and then steps higher into knowledge? That's the same thing if you want to cure ignorance. Look at your systems that you've set in place, and then seek just one thing and then repeat it over and over again. Because I can tell you, Cristiano Ronaldo would not have been a great player if he would have not have perfected his free kicks, he would have not perfected his dribbling skills, if he would have not practiced over and over again. Because it's practice and the iteration of a thing that causes perfection, that causes excellence, that causes you to know and have feedback in which you're able to improve in certain areas of your life.